Hi, I'm John Robertson. I'm one of the specialist nurses at Prostate Cancer UK. We've got a big team of over 12 nurses and I've been with the charity for 13 years now. And the great thing about the job we do is whenever we talk to people, particularly on the phone, they're often very complimentary. They're extremely grateful that they've been able to get a hold of somebody, because often with the busy clinicians at the hospital or even the GP practice, it's difficult to get a hold of somebody, whereas they know we're always accessible, we're there at the end of the telephone.
Yeah, my name's Terry Potter. I'm married, I have 2 daughters, 2 grandchildren. I lived in Spain. I returned to Britain. I lived with my daughter at the time. I needed a GP, so I arranged an appointment with my daughter's GP. Unbeknown to me, that was a great decision, because he gave my wife and I a mini medical. A few days later, he phoned me up out of the blue and he said to me, "I need to have a chat with you, your PSA is high." Basically, he told me that he would keep an eye on me for the next few years, and that was the start of my prostate cancer journey.
There are over 200 different types of cancer, and we know that prostate cancer is the most common cancer in men now. Something in the region of 400,000 men are actually living with prostate cancer. So we're talking about a significant issue, really. Most men end up with a diagnosis of prostate cancer because they've either noticed some blood in their urine or blood in their semen, or they've noticed a change in their bladder functions. Whereas perhaps before they weren't getting up at all during the night, or maybe once, they're now finding over a long period of time they're getting up 3 or 4 times a night. So if you notice any of those symptoms, I always emphasise, usually those are not due to cancer, but it's by going along and getting that checked, and that leads potentially to further tests which can then tell the doctors whether it is due to prostate cancer.
So after my active surveillance, which lasted about 5 years, I'd had lots of scans, MRI and CT scans, and in the spring of 2015 I had a scan which showed there may be some cancer in my prostate. So I had what's called a targeted biopsy and took samples from my prostate, which clearly showed that I had some cancer in my prostate. So in May of that year, I had a robotic prostatectomy, which basically is a machine called a Da Vinci robot, which is worked by a surgeon. I was in hospital just for 1 day and 1 night. I went home at lunchtime the next day. I was fit and healthy within about a month of having my operation. And luckily for me, that still is the case. I'm a part of a club in Kent where I take on people from couch to 5K. I also work part-time, as I say, in a B&Q. So I have a healthy life, basically. After I'd had my operation, I decided to approach Prostate Cancer and UK and see if I could do anything to help them. To start with, I began rattling buckets at football grounds, things like that, railway stations, whatever. Then I was approached by Prostate Cancer and asked if I'd like to be a volunteer speaker. And over the years, I've done now 7 years altogether, and I found that has been very useful to me, and I know that it's obviously been useful to the audiences I talk to.
The message that we try to give out at Prostate Cancer UK is, if you can get diagnosed early enough, then prostate cancer is a cancer that can be effectively treated and cured, and many men are effectively cured of the disease. I've been to conferences over the years where specialists have said they now genuinely believe that prostate cancer will become a disease like diabetes, where if you can't get rid of it, you can't cure it, but you can effectively control it for many years. So there's positive messages for people with that diagnosis.
What I would say now is, when I was diagnosed some 12 years ago, things have moved on greatly. There's now lots more treatment than just having chemotherapy, radiotherapy, or your prostate removed. There's lots of alternative treatments that will be a lot better than in some respects, to what I had. Certainly I would say, don't bury your head in the sand. Men are very good thinking everything's going to go away, please go ahead, get checked. A small few tests could save your life, as in my case.
If you'd like to make a donation to Prostate Cancer UK today, see the link below. Thank you for your generosity.